yeah, to finally have race week here. And just the important part of race week is just that we want to communicate a few important things in our race briefing to you to make sure that you are aware of a few important safety points. And yeah, just a final, just to give you a final race briefing before the weekend. So yeah, welcome to the race briefing. We will keep it quite short, and we also combine it in one for all distances and combine basically all the important points. So when we're looking at the content of the briefing, we quickly will look at a few general points. We'll look at the weather and compulsory gear, route marking and important splits. We'll chat about aid stations and water. Then a specific point, we'll chat about bridges and then also cutoffs. So when we're looking at general points, there's just a few things that we need you to please take note of. You must please make sure that your cell phone number is correct on the system at registration. This is important because batch sheetings will be sent on Friday afternoon via SMS just after we've finished registration and the prologue. So please make sure that your cell phone number is correct on the system at the timing, people. Not everyone's cell phones are correct on the Entry Ninja profiles, so we need to make sure that all of those are updated and that you will be able to receive your SMS with your starting time for Saturday. We also ask that on Saturday that you will be early for your shuttles, so please plan that you will be at the relevant parking spot 10 minutes before the departure time. And then also, if you're a 50k runner that's parking up top at Devangeni, please make sure that you budget enough time for the forestry road up to Devangeni. It normally takes about 15 minutes, but I think to be safe, budget for about 20 minutes from the R71 up to Devangeni Falls, especially with a bit more traffic on race morning. Then in terms of withdrawal en route, this is extremely important. Each year there's guys that decide that they don't run further, and then they basically phone family or friends to come and fetch them, but without any communication to us as race organizers. So we do ask that if you decide to withdraw on the route, please, if this did not happen at an aid station, please communicate that to Handra Hay via WhatsApp on that number, or if this happens at an aid station, please go to your aid station, the people manning the aid station, and just report that you are leaving the race, and give them your race number, that they know what to communicate to the safety team. So please, people, please help us in this regard. Don't just go off course and don't let anyone know. Please communicate that if you decide to leave the race prematurely. Further, in terms of general points, if you happen to pass an injured runner, we firstly ask that you please help that person. We know it's a race and it can be quite serious, but please let's let humanity prevail above all. And if someone is injured and you can help, please do help. It's also important to just take a note of roughly on what route this was and how far into the race. So look at your watch and just make a note of how far into the race the incident was or where this person might be. And then also you can also look for interesting markings on the especially the planted trees. So they would normally be divided into sections, and they will be numbered or basically labeled. So if you can also make a note of any such markings close by, that will just help us find that person and also determine what's the closest access route to that injured runner. Please take down the emergency numbers. Those are the two people that you can SMS or phone with an emergency. Handra Hay, race organizer, you can phone him on that number or message him. And then also the team leader from SARSA Limpopo, Louis Menche, you can contact him on that number. So just in that regard, guys, you are looked after by the Search and Rescue South Africa Limpopo branch. They are an extremely competent team, and they will be running the safety and medical aspect of the race for us. So please, guys, if something happens and you find yourself injured or in an emergency, please stay calm and yeah, just know that our team will do everything in their power to get you as soon as possible. But yeah, you are really looked after, a highly competent team that has planned massively to make sure that you are safe during the race. In that regard, if you just to mention as well, if you have any personal medication that you need to take with, please remember that as well in your racing kit. That if you need any medication en route, that you have that with you. And then also, guys, please complete your pre-race medical screening and indemnity forms if you haven't yet. Alright, guys, so obviously a big talking point of any South African daily, especially with events like this, is the weather. And yeah, the forecasts have been quite up and down the whole week, but we have decided to commit on a wet and cold prediction or forecast for this weekend. So we do want to mentally prepare you for that. It does look like it's going to be a bit rainy, and that the temperature will also be a little bit chilly. So yeah, we've decided to issue a level 3 compulsory gear level. So please go look on our website what exactly that entails if you haven't yet. And yeah, we please ask that you comply with a level 3 compulsory gear level. Guys, this is to protect you. This is for your own safety. It's not to be funny from a race organizing point of view. At the end of the day, if you don't comply with that basically that's on you, and not on us as race organizers. It's our job to try and host a safe as possible race, and to make sure that you are equipped with knowledge and information to make the best decisions for yourself. So please, guys, go have a look at level 3 compulsory gear level. And if you don't have all that gear, please borrow, beg from friends or family. But please, guys, it's important that you keep yourself dry this weekend en route, and that you keep your belongings dry as well, especially things that need to be used in an emergency, such as a cell phone, such as some extra dry clothes or warm clothes, thermals, etc. So yeah, in that same breath, we ask that you plan for warm dry clothes at the finish, either from your supporters, or that you can leave in a bag at the backdrop. So yeah, please, guys, make sure that you are able to warm yourself up with warm dry clothes once you have finished your race, and that you are just able to warm up afterwards. If we're looking at route marking and splits, guys, the route has been clearly marked with Lumo orange tape, as you can see in that picture. So yeah, please have a look out for that. The markers are either at eye height or as flags on the ground. So in the forestry roads, the open roads, the markers are more on an eye height, that you can actually see them from a distance. And then the single track is a bit of a mix of flags at feet level, just to kind of show you that you're still on the right track, and then also markers at eye height. And once again, the route is marked, guys, but we still advise that you use a GPS enabled watch or a phone app as a backup. I cannot stress this enough. Even if you don't have a GPS enabled watch, especially for the guys on the shorter distances, download yourself a phone app that can read GPX maps, that you can just have as a backup, to make sure that you are on track should you start worry, or should you get lost for some reason. And then, guys, we really want to encourage you to just use common sense. So don't just commit on any road where you see there's alternatives or splits in the road or turn-offs. Please look for markings first at those points before you commit on a road. The right road will be marked with orange Lumo tape, or there will be an arrow that directs you into a certain path. So please just use your common sense there and look for the markings. It's also important that you know where your route splits off, basically from the longer distances. So firstly, the 10k route, guys, you do not turn off into the single track after about 1.8 kilometers from the start, but you continue straight on that forestry road. So please don't turn left into that first bit of single track that the longer distances followed. And then 20k's, when you exit ZZ2 Woodbush aid station, guys, please make sure that you split off to the right, so you basically go up past the hiking hut. The 36 and the 50k guys will come kind of back into the forestry road and then across onto the single track. So please, 20k guys, make sure that you do not follow the 36 and the 50k guys, but that you actually split off to the right once you exit ZZ2 Woodbush. Yeah, and then the 36 and 50k guys, you split just after Broederstroom, Krabbefontein Broederstroom aid station. So when you leave the Broederstroom aid station, you'll first go down in a little single track, and then once you hit the forestry road below the hut, that's where you will split. So the 36 then splits right into the forestry road, and the 50k splits left. So please make sure, guys, that you follow the right split there. These splits are clearly signposted, and it will show you, for example, that 20, 36, and 50k turn left into the single track, and the 10k turns right onto the forestry road, and exactly the same for the 20k split at Woodbush, and also for the 36 and the 50k split. Yeah, guys, that's also clearly signposted. So please just be sharp and make sure that you follow your applicable split. And then when we're talking about aid stations and water, just for your info, guys, the aid stations will have basic supplies such as sweets, Coke, water, bananas, potatoes, salted chips, things like that, just to give you a bit of energy and carbohydrates, and just to fuel you. Remember, please, it's not we don't cater for all your nutrition needs. It's still important that you also plan for your own nutrition and your own nutritional plan. But there will be some supplies for you at the aid stations. And then it's important to note as well that all the water in the valleys, and especially in the indigenous forests, the water is drinkable, and it's safe to drink. It's actually some of the most beautiful water that you'll ever drink. However, we do advise against drinking from the Broederstroom up on top of the mountain. There's some cattle grazing there, and we don't advise you drink that water there. Guys, then a special mention of the bridges. Most of the smaller bridges are currently in a very poor condition, and they are extremely slippery. These bridges that I'm talking about now are the ones that you can cross a little small little stream without that bridge. Actually, it's just to keep your feet dry, but a lot of them are not in a good condition. So if you decide to use a little bridge, please approach all bridges with extreme caution. Don't just run over them. Really approach them with caution, or just opt for the straight route through the stream without using the bridge. That will be, in most cases, will actually be a safer option, and especially where these little bridges are where they've got a camber or tilted. Please don't have to use those tilted ones, and you can pass through the stream without using it. Rather, don't use it. They are extremely slippery, and you will fall. So yeah, please, guys, we normally say everything or anything that is moss covered or like black, so a black rock or a black log is extremely slippery. So please don't commit on those type of surfaces in these forests. Lastly, guys, with the possibility of a cold and a wet race, cutoffs will be enforced strictly for everyone's safety. So please make sure that you familiarize yourself with your specific races cutoff times, as we have communicated that in the race magazine. So yeah, purely for your own safety, guys, we will enforce cutoffs strictly, especially with the possibility of a cold and a wet race day. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's the most important information that you need from a race briefing point of view. Yeah, we really encourage that you still enjoy the magic of Magoebas, even if it might be a wet one this year. Enjoy it, take it all in, enjoy the sights and the sounds. It will probably mean that you will go a bit slower. It will probably mean that it's going to be a bit more slippery, that you will have a slip or a fall or two. But please, guys, we really encourage you, keep your eyes up, keep your head up, make sure that you enjoy it, even though, regardless of the conditions, take it all in, soak it in. It's a magical place, even in wet weather. Magoebas is a very special place. So please enjoy it, and please be safe out there.